job. You making me work. Run. Good job.
We talked about championship week. We talked about championship day. This is championship moment. Woo! You make it happen. You got me? So let me make it happen.
For my team, for my teammates, for my school, all for one for all. Now let's go! Check out the move! Check out
the move! Choctaws on the Move is brought to you by Parkway Baptist Church of Clinton. Experience truth, love, and community at Parkway Baptist. Fowler Buick GMC, located on Highway 80 East in Pearl, Brandon. The Family Dental Center in Clinton. Style your smile at the Family Dental Center with Dr. Paula Stewart and staff. Clinton Family Care on Morrison Drive in Clinton. Visit Dr. David Wheat at the friendliest clinic in Clinton, Clinton Family Care. And the Mississippi Baptist Convention Board, helping to bring Mississippi and the world to Jesus.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Choctaws on the Move here on Metro TV. I'm Reed Vance. The Mississippi College Choctaws coming off a loss to Sul Ross State University this past Saturday, 49-42 is the final score. And MC head football coach Norman Joseph joins me now to talk about the ball game. And Coach, I know you're disappointed in the outcome. This was a game of streaks, and at the very end, the Lobos had the lead and they got the win. But I think you got to be impressed with the way your team fought back time and time again and stayed in this ball game after being down 21-0 early in the ball game.
You know, I told our team at the end of the game that I was real proud of their effort. A lot of times our execution wasn't what we wanted and what we needed to have to win the ball game, but you start the game off, and Sul Ross jumped out 3 scores. They were up 21-0 before we could ever really blink, and we just weren't playing well on any phase. And I mentioned that to our staff. I'm gonna mention the same thing to our team. And you look at some of the negatives that took place. Offensively, we didn't move the ball early. Our defense didn't stop them early, and then they had a long punt return. So it was a breakdown in all 3 phases of our team. And then all of a sudden we get a kickoff return that puts us right about midfield or a little beyond midfield with 7 minutes or a little over 7 minutes to go in the first half, and we score 3 times to close out the half with 3 great possessions, and defense picked up their play. Kicking game was good, and then we come out after halftime and we score again. So all of a sudden, instead of being down 21-0, we're up by 7 at the start of the second half.
I know one of the things that was a struggle for the Choctaws the first half was some of the missed tackles, but you got to give credit to their running back, Dominic Carson, who had a great afternoon. He was really tough to bring down. And
he had a great game. There's no question about that. They had a good blocking scheme set up for our defense, and he hit the holes. And there were times when we were there to make tackles, and we just didn't. And then there were times where they did a great job with their blocking, and so my hat goes off to him as well.
It was a very physical football game, and I just remember seeing a lot of players, especially on defense. They would get hit hard, hit somebody hard, and maybe come off the field for one play or at the most one series, and then get right back out there. And I think you got to be impressed with the way your team physically hung in the ball game, and really didn't leave anything on the field.
And they didn't. They played extremely hard. They like I said earlier, the effort was there. Sometimes the execution wasn't all it needed to be, but I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of the players that we have, their efforts that they're giving each week, and their preparation to win. And it's going to come. It's just a matter of time, and we're looking forward to that time when we get another victory, and hopefully it'll be this weekend.
You got some big contributions from some of your receivers this week. Demarion Buford-Hughes had a couple of touchdown catches, and some guys made tough catches in traffic, getting hit after the catch and hanging on to the ball.
And they did, and it was because of our lack of running game early, we had to throw the ball. We felt like that our play action pass was going to work for us, and it did. Some of Demarion's couple of his touchdowns were play action. Austin Gray, play action pass for a touchdown, and then we set up another score with a play action pass. So that went to Stephen Smith. So I'm really proud of our guys. We're very capable of moving the ball. We're very capable of stopping people. We're very capable of having great kicking game play. And now it's with 2 games left to go in the year. we're looking forward to putting it all together and having a great ball game.
And one of the other positives from the ball game I thought was the play of the offensive line. I thought the pockets were well formed, and Tommy did a good job. But a lot of times when he had to stay in there and make the throw, he had time to throw.
And this was a game in which we needed that. Once again, because of the lack of running game, we had to have some great protection, and I felt like our offensive line did a great job.
So the Lobos come away with the win, 49-42, as the Choctaws now drop to 3-5 on the season. They're 2-4 in American Southwest Conference play. We'll take a look at the highlights of the ball game coming up next. You're watching Choctaws on the Move here on Metro TV.
Choctaws on the Move is brought to you by Parkway Baptist Church of Clinton. Experience truth, love, and community at Parkway Baptist. Fowler Buick GMC, located on Highway 80 East in Pearl, Brandon. The Family Dental Center in Clinton. Style your smile at the Family Dental Center with Dr. Paula Stewart and staff. Clinton Family Care on Morrison Drive in Clinton. Visit Dr. David Wheat at the friendliest clinic in Clinton, Clinton Family Care. And the Mississippi Baptist Convention Board, helping to bring Mississippi and the world to Jesus.
Come on! Push it out! Push it out! You making me work! Push! Good job.
Talk about championship week. We talk about championship day. This is championship on. Woo! You make it happen. You got me? You make it happen.
For my team, for my teammates, for my school, all for one for all. Now let's go! Choctaws on the move! Choctaws on the move!
Are you ready for some Choctaw football? I'm Jehu Brabham of Parkway Baptist Church here in Clinton, Mississippi. As a former basketball player at Mississippi College, I am proud of our Choctaw athletic tradition, a tradition of playing, acting, and living like a champion. On behalf of Parkway, let me wish Coach Joseph and our Choctaw football team much success throughout the upcoming season as they continue that rich Choctaw tradition. And by the way, I can shoot this ball too.
GMC Truck Month means big savings for you at Fowler Buick GMC. Right now, get 0% for 60 months on 2011 Sierras, plus $1,500 cash allowance, or a $5,005 rebate. Check out GMC Truck Month at FowlerBPG.com. Fowler Buick GMC is growing to better serve you. We are your source for GMC trucks and SUVs. Come in now for great year-end savings on Sierras and lots more. Service, selection, value. That's what we're all about at Fowler Buick GMC. Check us out at FowlerBPG.com.
It's a new day in Jackson Television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV.
Welcome back to Choctaws on the Move here on Metro TV. You can take a look at the highlights in just a moment of the Choctaws' loss to Sul Ross this past Saturday. Coach, this is the kind of game where the emotions just shifted back and forth a lot. Streak of 2 or 3 touchdowns by one team, 2 or 3 touchdowns by another team. And at the end of the day, I think that leaves every player very exhausted physically and mentally. But at the end of the day, the Lobos got the win, but the Choctaws, especially playing at a high altitude, and that was something else they haven't played in all season, I think got to be proud of the way they played.
You know, I told our guys that we couldn't let the altitude be a factor. If we're doing our job defensively, and then we're creating turnovers, we're 3 and out, 3 plays and out, and then they're punting, and the offense is back on the field, and And so there were times when we did that. We did have 5 or 6 series where we had 3 and outs, but there were some other series in which we didn't. And so you got to play. You got to play the game. You play fast. You play hard. You create your breaks. You don't wait for them to give you a break. You create your breaks, and that's something we're working on. We're conscious of, and I know our guys are going to do that this coming week.
All right, let's take a look now at the highlights. The Lobos score first. This is late in the first quarter, 1st and 10 at the MC11. Cordrick Mobley, the touchdown catch that made it 7-0. Dominique Carson early in the second with a 17-yard run for a touchdown for the Lobos. Very elusive running back, and this made it 14-0 Saul Ross. And then on their next drive, Morgan Ross with a 7-yard catch to make it 21-0 in favor of the Lobos. Here the Choctaws get on the board midway through the second with Demarion Buford Hughes.
Play action pass, set it up off our sweep action, and Demarion's right down the middle for a score.
Big special teams play with a block punt.
This is a great job by Bryce Brewer coming in, blocking the kick. We're looking at trying to scoop and score, but we end up scrambling around and get the ball back.
And then the Choctaws take advantage of this 2nd and goal at the Saul Ross 9, and Tommy Rear is going to run this one in for a touchdown from 9 yards away. And Tommy's scrambling ability really showing up on this next play.
Really good. Tommy, this was a read sweep. We're reading the defensive end, and the defensive end takes the running back, and Tommy cuts right inside for a score, and great blocking inside.
And the Choctaws cut it to 7, and now the Choctaws will get a chance to tie it up. This is a big catch by Demarion Buford Hughes to get him into scoring range.
This was with about 10 or 12 seconds, and he had a deep throw to Demarion. Tommy sprints out, great protection, and then sets it up for this final play right before the half that we score on to Demarion again, and he just runs over the guy, gets in the end zone.
After being down 21-0, Choctaws tied up at the half, 21 all. First MC drive of the third quarter, Demetrius Randolph.
Yeah, another touchdown pass to Demetrius, and did a great job.
And then Dominique Carson will tie it up at 28 for the Lobos. Now the Lobos are up 35-28 after 3, and Scotty Walden is going to run this one in from 16 yards away, and this gives the Lobos a 42-28 lead. But on the next drive, Blake Rowell with a huge defensive play.
Real proud of Blake, and just slams the guy down. That's the way we need to be playing more often.
Next MC drive, Austin Gray gets the touchdown catch.
Another play action pass wide open to Austin, and Tommy Rear just throws it right on time.
Choctaws cut it to 7 on the ensuing kickoff. The Choctaws get the ball.
We were trying to kick it hard because the wind was so strong, and it deflects off of one of their players up front, and we recovered.
Later in the drive, Stephen Smith gets you to the 1-yard line.
And another great catch, another play action pass off our sweep, and gets it in there.
And Stephen Knight is going to finish it off and tie it up at 42. That was the final, or they scored at the end of regulation. And this is the winning touchdown in overtime. It's Cordrick Mobley with a 22-yard touchdown catch for the Lobos at the back of the end zone, a fine play. And the Lobos win it in overtime, 49-42. Well, Coach, as we look at the overtime period there at Saul Ross, the Choctaws had a chance there to tie it up, and Demarion Buford Hughes almost made an outstanding catch there in the end zone that would have given you a chance to tie the ball game with the extra point, but just came up a little short.
You know, you look at their scoring opportunity that they had right there to win the ball game in overtime. We have great coverage on their receiver. I mean, we are all over him. Darren Watts has got him covered. The quarterback threw it the only place he could, and their receiver came down with the catch. When we had our opportunity, Tommy Rear threw it the only place he could to Demarion, and unfortunately we did not come up with the catch. But I'm proud of Demarion. I'm proud of all of our players, of what they're doing, their effort, their willingness to win, and their willingness to prepare to win. And we know our time is coming, so we're just going to keep plugging away and keep on keeping on.
Well, win or lose, we always like to ask, what's the takeaway from this ball game for your team?
You know, it's very difficult to come off of a game like this and say that that there was a whole lot of positives because you feel so down. But there were a lot of positives. There was a great comeback by a group of young men that wanted to win. You're down 3 scores and you don't give up, and you come back and you take the lead, and then you fight and scratch and claw and all in the second half, and you come back and you tie it, and you have an opportunity to win it in regulation, and you also have a chance to keep the game going in overtime, and we just came up a little short.
The Choctaws now will turn their attention to Texas Lutheran on Senior Day this coming Saturday in Clinton. We'll talk about that game coming up here in just a few moments, but first, after the break, we'll talk with MC baseball coach Brian Owens. That's next. You're watching Choctaws on the Move here on Metro TV.
GMC Truck Month means big savings for you at Fowler Buick GMC. Right now, get 0% for 60 months on 2011 Sierras, plus $1,500 cash allowance, or a $5,005 rebate. Check out GMC Truck Month at FowlerBPG.com. Fowler Buick GMC is growing to better serve you. We are your source for GMC trucks and SUVs. Come in now for great year-end savings on Sierras and lots more. Service, selection, value. That's what we're all about at Fowler Buick GMC. Check us out at FowlerBPG.com.
Choctaws on the Move is brought to you by the Family Dental Center in Clinton. Style your smile at the Family Dental Center with Dr. Paula Stewart and staff. Clinton Family Care on Morrison Drive in Clinton. Visit Dr. David Wheat at the friendliest clinic in Clinton, Clinton Family Care. And the Mississippi Baptist Convention Board, helping to bring Mississippi and the world to Jesus.
We're here now with Mississippi College baseball coach Brian Owens to take a look ahead at the baseball season that'll start up next February. Coach, thanks for your time, and let's take a look back first of all at last season. Can't imagine a more exciting ending to last season than the series we had out at Hardin-Simmons. We wish the Choctaws would have won, but you look at those 3 games, so one went 10 innings, the last game went 14 innings, and you fell a run short, but that was quite a weekend of baseball, wasn't it?
It was. It was a long weekend. You know, our guys, they played hard, and for the most part, you know, the games are played pretty clean, but you did have, especially in 14 innings, you have some things that do kind of get out of hand and some things that you haven't seen before in baseball. And I think in the 14-inning game, we looked around and I think we have one guy left on the bench that we didn't burn. And so it kind of caused us to have our pitcher that had to hit, and that was kind of something rare for us. But, you know, we couldn't burn our last guy on the bench in case we had to put him in for injury or something else that would happen during that game.
And for the guys who are back off of that team, it gives a little extra motivation going into this season. They remember just how close they were on a couple of occasions last year to moving on.
Yeah, and that's kind of the tone. You're going through fall practice. They kind of understand what this team is capable of doing, and falling short last year, they're really motivated. We have a lot of self-motivated athletes this year, and that makes my job easier, and the assistant coach's job's easier. So I'm excited about them. I think we got a great group, and we'll just try to pick up where we left off last year.
That self-motivation, I think, is so important, especially for baseball, because it's much more of a daily game than maybe some of the other sports that we play here at Mississippi College. And really, after about 20 games, there's only so much that you and your coaching staff can say. They have to be self-motivated to keep going and keep playing hard.
It is, and you know, we're different from football and anybody else, where football gets one shot at a team. We get 3 shots at them, and you're right. You get 20 games deep into a season. It is very depending on those guys to step up and really do what they're supposed to be doing, because most of the coaching in that time frame of the year is pretty much on cruise control. Everybody knows the system. They know how we're running the program. It's really up to them to get out there and perform.
Well, let's talk about some of the pitchers you've got coming back. Underwood, Craig, Trousdale, all 3 of those guys were performers for you last year and did very well for you last year. So you got to be happy with the arms you got coming back.
We are. I mean, we've got a good group of returners coming back, and a great group of guys that are coming in, to the new class we have in. But the returners last year, they've been through the fire, and that's one thing that some of the new guys coming in are going to lack, is that experience of playing in our conference. And I don't know if they quite understand the caliber of teams that we play during conference, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do perform. And you know, I know our core group of returners that are coming back have been in the fire, and they can produce for us, and you know, we're going to be relying on them a lot this year.
You don't have a lot of starting position players coming back, but you do have some key guys who got some big hits for you last season that'll be returning.
Yeah, we do. You know, we've got Brunson at third base is back, and Curdock's back. Hightower's going to be back for us at first, and you know, with those guys in the lineup, that was a core group of our guys that made some things happen in our lineup. We lost some very big bats, but at the same time, I feel the guys we have returning are going to be guys that are more consistent at the plate, and you know, can actually hit the ball a long way too. So really excited about them being back.
Some guys who performed off the bench for you last year. I'm thinking maybe J. Marcus Brooks, who has a chance to start this year, and he might provide some speed in the lineup for you.
Jamarcus, I mean, every year he has been here, he has progressed every year, and I'm hoping this year he progresses enough to where he will give it a run in starting position. And you know, he's a great asset. Even if he's not starting for us, he can come off the bench and run for us, and which he's done quite a few times last year for us. And he's a good defensive replacement last year when we needed him. Same way with Jeremy Simmons. I mean, we pulled Brandon Benton out of the lineup and put Jeremy in a lot of times late in the game, and he's a consistent bat. I mean, I remember Jeremy Hardin Simmons last year come up, and we put him in the game, and I think he laced a double down the left field line, which was scored 2 runs for us. So I mean, they're very capable of being everyday guys. It's just they have to step up and win that position.
Tell us about some of the guys you've recruited from the JUCO level and some of the freshmen coming in. Who has caught your eye in fall practice?
We've got a group of guys from Baton Rouge Community College that have really stepped in and kind of not really won positions, but they're making some noise of fighting for those starting jobs. We have a left fielder, center fielder, and a shortstop. And you know, with those guys coming in, they bring a lot of fire, and I think that's the one thing about this recruiting class, not just them in general. The whole group of guys that have come in, they have that fire, and they have that desire, and they don't like losing. They want to win, and you know, you can see that in fall practice. Just the way they carry themselves, and you know, they're a great group. They're a funny group. They have a great time, but they know whenever practice comes that it's business, and it's good to see a group that can take that switch and flip it from, you know, just hanging out, being ball players, whatever, to whenever it's time to business, they flip that switch, and you know, they're self-motivated.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time to join us here. We look forward to baseball season.
Thank you.
Brian Owens, baseball coach at Mississippi College. Stay with us. We'll have more of our program in a moment.
Are you ready for some Choctaw football? I'm Jehu Brabham of Parkway Baptist Church here in Clinton, Mississippi. As a former basketball player at Mississippi College, I am proud of our Choctaw athletic tradition, a tradition of playing, acting, and living like a champion. On behalf of Parkway, let me wish Coach Joseph and our Choctaw football team much success throughout the upcoming season as they continue that rich Choctaw tradition. And by the way, I can shoot this ball too.
Welcome back to Choctaws on the Move here on Metro TV. The Choctaws now will turn their attention to the Texas Lutheran Bulldogs, who will come to Clinton this coming Saturday. It will be Senior Day at Mississippi College. And Coach, this is a Texas Lutheran team that beat the Choctaws in Seguin last year. They got off to a great start this season, but they've lost 3 ball games in a row, so you know they're looking to get back on the winning track. They'll be a tough opponent.
And they are. They're extremely well coached. They've got an outstanding scheme. They defensively they run the same scheme that Mary Hardin Baylor runs, and so it's a very sound defense. Offensively, they're a lot of 2-back with motion and movement, play action, throw it deep. You're going to see a very well coached team, and then their special teams is very solid. So we know that Texas Lutheran is going to come in here and they'll play hard. They'll be well coached, and we know it's going to be a great ball game.
You talked earlier about not really being able to establish the run against Saul Ross and kind of forced into some throwing situations, and I think it's really important again that the running game get going this weekend against Texas Lutheran.
No question, and we know that because of what they're doing defensively, that if we do not establish a running game, that it could be a very long afternoon for us. So we're going to have to focus on that. Have to play with a more physical team to get our running game going, and also to stop their running game.
We've talked a lot this year about the impact that young players have made, but this will be senior day, and it's always good to remember that we've got some seniors on this team who have been with you in this program for a long time, and they have been big contributors this year as well, and it really starts with your senior quarterback.
Yes, Tommy Breer has done well for us, and tremendous career, tremendous season for us. I've been real proud of Tommy and his maturity. You look at a young freshman 4 years ago, and now here's a senior leader that's taken charge and playing at a very high level. And there's been 2 or 3 ball games this year. As much as we've thrown the ball, he has not thrown an interception. And then his touchdown pass interception ratio is back in order like it needs to be. And that's through experience, through maturity, and having a will to win. And we're real proud of Tommy and his play.
Stephen Knight's the kind of guy who's really fought through some significant injuries over the last couple of years, and I think maybe what a lot of people don't recognize, that at this level of football, it's real easy just to call it a career, and Stephen has stuck with it.
Stephen has really played hard for us. There's been times, he's such a big player for us. He wants to score every time he touches the ball, and believe you me, I want him to score every time he touches the ball. But there's some tough yardage. Being a running back, there's some tough yardage plays that you have to get, and as much as he wants to score and have a big play, we're real proud of his consistent play. And so, but those big plays will come if he'll continue to do what he's doing and playing hard and staying with the game plan. And his career is, we're so proud of him and what he's done in the 2 years or the 2 seasons he's been with us. Last year being a hurt season, and now his senior year. What a great player he's been for us.
And you've got some receivers who are seniors. None of them actually got to play last week because of injury, and some guys on the offensive line that have been with you, and they've been contributors as well, played good, solid football.
Yes, Brian Richardson at receiver, Matt Burke at receiver, Corey York in the offensive line, Justin Cardwell in the offensive line. Just outstanding players and great leaders, guys that we look to voice an opinion and to keep our team going, and just real proud of what they've done, not only for this season, but in the years leading up to this year.
And for the seniors on defense who are playing now under Coach Chad Walker and their third defensive coordinator, I think they've really stepped up and made that adjustment quite well.
Yes, Luke Petito being one that's done a great job. Sam Mays, Jeremy Bertrand, just outstanding guys who have played for us. Jeremy Horton has done a great job. I mean, just on and on. I could go all the way down the line, and I know I've missed some guys, but Dustin Rutherford, another one. Just great leadership, outstanding players. They come to work every day to get better, and because of their work is showing on their play on Saturdays.
Well, this Saturday will be Senior Day at Robinson-Hale Stadium against the Texas Lutheran Bulldogs. Game time will be 1 p.m., and our broadcast with live audio and live video will be available at GoChoctaws.com beginning at 12:30. Coach, thanks so much for your time. We wish you good luck this coming Saturday.
Thank you so much. That's
Norman Joseph, head football coach at Mississippi College. Thanks for watching another edition of Choctaws on the Move here on Metro TV.
We talk about championship week. We talk about championship day. This is championship on. Woo! You make it happen. You got me? You make it happen.
For my team, for my teammates, for my school, all for one crawl. Now let's go. Choctaws on the move. Choctaws on the move.
Choctaws on the Move is brought to you by Parkway Baptist Church of Clinton. Experience truth, love, and community at Parkway Baptist. Fowler Buick GMC, located on Highway 80 East in Pearl, Brandon. The Family Dental Center in Clinton. Style your smile at the Family Dental Center with Dr. Paula Stewart and staff. Clinton Family Care on Morrison Drive in Clinton. Visit Dr. David Wheat at the friendliest clinic in Clinton, Clinton Family Care. And the Mississippi Baptist Convention Board, helping to bring Mississippi and the world to Jesus.